Hey guys, welcome to Flat Top King. Hey, today is our Memorial Day special. We're doing all kinds of barbecue themed items today. We're gonna do like a barbecue style charcuterie board. So you guys sit back, relax. It's gonna be a fun one. I don't think this video can go forward without me first and foremost mentioning the most important thing for Memorial Day. Obviously giving our thanks to the men and women who've lost their lives, and that's what Memorial Day is about, all the way from the beginning to now. So this is kind of like my rendition. Today's video is going to be a little bit different because it's not necessarily teaching or like specific recipe style. It's almost like the idea of like, hey, what do you do on Memorial Day, right? I can teach you burgers, I can teach you hot dogs, I can teach you all that. But this is more behind the scenes, more relaxed atmosphere. I'm gonna have fun. Fun fact before we get started, the reason why there is so much food, we have a massive family. And typically my house is kind of like right in the middle of our geography of spread out family. And so a lot of times they congregate here, which is fine with me because I love it. But one huge announcement before we get started, as you guys know, we have launched our smash and shake that seasonings, and with the success and the feedback that you guys have given us, we held this on the back burner. Today is our first taste test. This is not ready. This is not ready. It's our taste test, our first official.
I printed that label on my home printer. That's why it looks different.
Yeah. So this is actually how it actually started. So we originally wanted the big three, and so there they are. So this is the first run, but this is what it actually looks like behind the scenes. So this is the idea. Traditional for Memorial Day, you're going to fire up a grill, fire up something. So we've got some barbecue chicken style legs and thighs. I've got a rack of ribs that we're going to try it out. I like to save the scraps because honestly, I love those. I don't know why people discard them. I think they're almost like pork jerky. Got some pork tenderloins we're going to smoke. Got some just traditional style jalapeno sausages. And then for a pig shots, we got some smoked sausage, some bacon. We're gonna make a cream cheese and jalapeno mix, stuff those. And then let's see, quick tip as well. We just posted our Southwest chicken, and in that we use a can of adobos. And I said in the video, if you use a plastic bag, a Ziploc bag like this, and kind of separate them and freeze them and label them, they're a lot easier to get to because you're not worried about throwing the whole can away or unfreezing a whole can. When I spritz, I like to do half and half. I like to do apple juice concentrate and apple cider vinegar. I'll never go through the whole bottle when I'm just spritzing by myself unless it's a huge cook. And so what I do, I just save the apple juice concentrate, freeze it, and then here's the day, and then that's how we do it, okay? Whoo, I'm excited. All right, you ready? Oh, I have got comments before on my Pit Boss smoker about the tubes, the smoker tubes that I use, and I was going to show that to you guys today. So we haven't even fired it up because I think it's a really cool feature to have when you have a smoker. It adds that extra smoke that some people are looking for, and I think we can nail that today. So the first things first, I'm going to season all my meats, clean my hands, and then we'll start on the smoker because it's going to allow that meat to the seasoning to penetrate through the meat with enough time so I can start working on something else. You guys can see there's those nice flakes in there, nice peppers. I'm just curious, you guys want to comment below. What's your expectation of this seasoning? Do you like it peppery, smoky, sweet? What's kind of like the, what'd you call it? The overall expectation of a good barbecue seasoning. We're looking for color today. Obviously, we're looking for taste. All right, I've already squared off the ribs, trimmed them a little bit. Like I said, I got little scraps left over. So I typically do a mustard binder. So I want to keep everything as normal as possible. This is the bottom side. Remember, you want to season that first because obviously the presentation side is up. Pork tenderloin, I can probably do the same thing.
So the mustard, because we do mustard binder often, even like for fried fish, you really don't taste the mustard.
No.
when it cooks.
No, not at all. And I will say this, so I'm going to try to teach you guys just a little bit of stuff here and there as we go along the way. I just want to be laid back today, really testing the seasonings, and you know, I just really want to kind of do like a different style video. Two things that come to mind when pork tenderloin, it's probably one of the most underrated and underused piece of meat that you could possibly have. Typically, it's cheap. They go and sell a lot. That's why I say that. The first thing that comes to mind is I think people over trim them. Fat is flavor. There's a difference between the silver skin and fat. If you notice, I've still got fat on here, ribbons of fat just layered throughout, because that is going to help with flavor. Okay, but the silver skin is taken off. And the second thing is, you can stretch your pork tenderloin pretty thin, right? See the difference? What I like to do when I smoke is try to make your meat as fat as possible. See the difference? They're just about the same size. Because when you smoke it and it's fatter, it's going to take longer to smoke. Your strands of meat aren't stretched out. By doing that, one, it's going to help keep it moist because it's more mass, and two, it takes longer to cook. You're not likely to overshoot your temperatures, and it can help create a deeper smoke flavor if that's what you're looking for. If you want to go hot and fast, obviously you can keep it stretched out thin. So I'm not going to go near as heavy on this. I just want a light coating. I kind of want to see this, what it's like as almost like a first coat. Many people in barbecue like to use multi-layers. So when you're using a smoke tube, the one thing I found out, I've actually got two of them because I really like them. I'm just going to turn the Pit Boss on, get it to smoke. I'm doing exactly what the manual says. This is how I start my grill. So this is the best time to start your smoke tube, because you have to leave your grill open to breathe to begin with. And so with all this oxygen, you're able to start your smoke tube faster.
So what is in your smoke tube?
The actual, now, right now, it's because all I have is the competition style Pit Boss pellets. This is one way that you can switch flavors. You can do a hickory, a cherry, an apple. You can use, you know, obviously multiple brands. It's just a way to add more flavor, more smoke. So since our grill lid's open, these are going to catch on fire, and they're going to start slowly making its way. And then once this grill is ready, once we close the lid, this will just eat up nice and slow. And that just adds that extra smoke to it. This is typical when you have a pellet smoker. You're supposed to open it up, let it breathe, and once the smoke calms down, that's when you can close the lid. So that's why I tell you it's a great time to start your accessory, because your lid already has to stay open and you've got all that oxygen going through there. See how quickly the smoke dissipated? See that? Now's the time to close the grill, get it up to temperature. I'm gonna shoot, let's see. The one thing that drives me nuts about this dang pellet grill, as much as I love it, and I absolutely love it, is I don't have 275 on there. So I'm gonna run about 300, because I can always, let's do 250. Heck, what's it gonna matter? We'll do 250 for the first like 2 hours, and we'll crank it up a little bit later. Put these on there. I'm gonna give them like a good hour first. I'm gonna use this top rack. This is where the smoke likes to congregate, because that's where it comes out. So it's a good place for it. All right, I got the ribs on there. Our smoke tube's going. I'm gonna give it like the first hour, then we'll start spritzing. I'm a big spritzer. I like to spritz. So I'll probably spritz about every 30 minutes, and I might have to rotate the ribs depending on how hot I notice the back's getting. We'll come back and, oh, I gotta put the nuggets on. I forgot about the nuggets. All right, pig shots. I have a half a block of cream cheese that's been softened, or it is soft. And I got a half a block of freshly grated sharp cheddar cheese.
So 4 ounces of sharp cheddar.
I'm gonna add a little diced jalapeno. I was gonna go with raw, but honestly, I like the kind of like the vinegar taste of that pickled jalapenos. You guys can add as much as little as you like. Hit it with just a touch of seasoning for a little extra kick. Just a couple dashes of hot sauce. We've got some smoked sausage. You can use kielbasa. We just got the traditional smoked sausage. And then you're gonna cut about 1/4 inch. All right, we had a little mishap. We use thin bacon. The bacon should be thick because the thin bacon just falls on itself. So I just went to the store and grabbed some thick cut bacon, and it's working out nicely. So let me show you what we're doing. You basically just cut the bacon, I would say a little bit, just a hair past half. Okay. Just like this. Take your flat sausage, wrap it around. You want to seal the edges just like that, where it kind of loops around. And then I'm gonna stick my toothpick all the way through it, just like that. And what you'll notice is you start creating cups.
Looks like a shot glass. I wonder if that's why they call it pig shots.
I'm telling you what, you get smarter and smarter every day, honey. So now we got them done. They're looking all right. And then, like I said, we got that mixture here. We're just gonna mix this up very well. Got a little baggie here. Put it in the corner. We'll cut the tip. Just like most things that are stuffed, one thing you don't want to do is try to overstuff it. And then you're just going to fill them up just like that. All right, once you got them all done, light dusting. And then right before we put them on, we're gonna put them on a cookie sheet so that way they just go in as one and out as one, so you're not dealing with individual pieces. All right, you guys can see the smoke that's pushing off there. I've got a little tidbits right here. It's been about an hour. Just go ahead and just get it a good soak. I think we're doing fine on color. I don't think there's really even any reason to rotate it at all.
So that is just the mix of half apple cider vinegar, half apple juice concentrate.
Yeah. Ribs are looking good. The backside looking good. That's a nice, beautiful bronze color right there. I like the color. So it's a 2-hour mark. With ribs, a lot of people do the 3-2-1. I'm not a big fan of that for a lot of different reasons. I'm going to keep it on there for about another hour, uncovered, and then we will go from there. Woo. All right, pushing that 3-hour mark. You gotta see beautiful, beautiful, beautiful color. Spritz the paper, makes it a little more pliable. That vinegar in there is also going to help break down the pork. Let's do a little bit more seasoning. Nice coating of sauce. Still going to keep it on the top rack because now it's time to add the chicken.
So it's been 3 hours exactly.
Yep, so you can see our chicken sweated nicely. You guys can see the moisture in there. Obviously with the chicken, there's nothing really to it. We're just going to look for a nice internal temperature of about 165 degrees. We might pull a little early. We might let it go a little bit later, especially with dark meat. I'll just have to see how it's going. We're still going to roll about 250. I'm actually going to crank it up to 300 and let it roll for the next hour. Just shuffling some things around. The chicken's not ready yet. We're hitting that 4-hour mark. These are the pig shots on that rack. Can I go in like this? I can. Then remember I talked about those pork tenderloins, how I like them fatter. Our chicken's almost ready to pull off the smoker, but what I've done, I've kept some of it on the smoker, what I call naked. So it only has the seasoning on there. And I'm gonna put the barbecue sauce on here like I normally would, but I wanna be able to distinguish the difference, so that's why I'm doing this. If I was confident in the seasoning at this point, I would go ahead and sauce everything, but I want to taste it by itself. So we're just going to finish this up about 10 or 15 minutes, make it tacky.
So this is going to be kind of like a glaze by the time like you actually smoke the sauce a little bit.
Yep. All right, so our pig shots are done. Everything's been taken off the grill. I'm just gonna lightly sauce these. I ended up turning the smoker up to 350 just for like the last 20 minutes, just to make sure that bacon was crisp.
So about how long were the pig shots actually on then?
About an hour.
At what temperature?
It was at 300 at first, and then we raised it up to 350 about 30 minutes into it. And then I've just got packaged sausages. We're just gonna cook these until they're done. Whoo! All right, we got everything done. Everything's done. The ribs are rested, pork tenderloins are rested, the chicken's up to temp. It's been resting. We got the sausages off, and the pig shots are done. So, on the pork tenderloin, what I decided to do was to keep one naked, and then to keep one with barbecue sauce on it. And this is the one with barbecue sauce. Okay, keep those juices. And you can just see just how juicy it is. That's the importance of thermometers. I always preach thermometers.
What temp did you pull the pork tenderloin at?
I actually pulled them at 142. Typically my target's 145, but I knew that I was finishing these things a little bit hot and they're gonna be wrapped in foil. So you gotta worry about that carryover cooking. I hear a lot of people talk about carryover cooking. I think there's misconcepts that go along with it. Depends on how hot your surface is, your grill, your griddle and stuff like that. Your oven depends on how much carryover cooking you actually have.
So the hotter the temp is when you pull it off, the more it's going to carry over cook.
Correct.
But if you're at a lower, like 250, it's not going to carry over cook as much.
Absolutely. Yep. So there's the regular. Told you to keep that juice a little bit. Take that barbecue sauce. Let it just kind of work between each layer. Just taking those jalapeno cheddar sausages, just kind of arranging that on there. No really rhyme or reason. Allows people just to pick up a couple versus just taking a whole sausage. And so the idea of the meat charcuterie board, especially for our family, roll away.
Your sausage is running away.
Is you know, just to have the abundance and the options when they come through line. Like I said, typically we have like 30 people. I always like to have the meat ready. The way our family operates is a lot different than other people's. We got some really good cooks in our family. So traditionally or typically, I would supply the meat just because I love to cook the meat. And since it's at my house. And then the aunts like to bring over sides. They'll bring over sides, desserts, appetizers, and stuff like that. Pig shots came out beautifully.
I know, let's try one.
That cream cheese held in there, looky there. You got the crispy bacon.
So those cooked for about, what, 1 hour? Are they super hot? God. That's a one biter?
I'm telling you right now, that is night and day better than the shotgun shells we made. That's no comparison. I would get on board with these suckers any day of the week. Those are good. Those are good. Easy to make, very little limited ingredients, very versatile. Those would definitely be made
again.
Absolutely. Just a nice finish off drizzle of that sauce. You got to find you a good sauce. This is a good balance. It's a little bit sweeter than what I'd like, but I do feel like with the sausage and the jalapenos and the pepper that was in the seasoning, that it's balanced out well so far. Do you think so?
Yep, I like the consistency of the sauce.
Yes.
How it's thinner.
Yep. We got our chicken. Remember, we did half and half because I wanted to be able to taste it. So that's our dry right here. These are our wets. I'll keep the wets over here with that barbecue sauce themed. Same thing, save that juice right over top of the wetness. I was gonna put these back on the grill to make them tack up a little bit, but honestly, I just thought that I was adding more sauce. And since we are recipe testing today, I just thought, you know what? I'm gonna keep it one layer.
Over or under on when Neil spills barbecue sauce on his shirt?
I'd cry. I always like to get a new shirt a year for the holiday season. Supporting them. Oh, God, them things. Woo, hoo, hoo, hoo. Not much of a smoke ring. There we go. There we go. All right.
Oh, wow. I can just pull the meat off like that.
To me, the ribs are overcooked. I could have pulled them about 30 minutes earlier.
Really? I like them.
Some people like fall off the bone ribs. I'm more of a right on the verge guy. Like, I like it to be able to fall off the bone, but I like a little bit more of a what do you call it? Like a fight with it.
Oh no, I think they're perfect.
What do you think about the seasoning? I don't think I'm sold on the seasoning. I think if I had to do it over, I think we need to go back to the drawing board on the seasoning. All right, guys, there you go. That's our barbecue style meat charcuterie board. I think it came out fantastic. Pig shots are on point. This pork tenderloin is absolutely juicy. So this is the naked one.
That little hint of sweetness.
My family's gonna absolutely love it. Take one of those drumsticks. I haven't had it on chicken yet. We got the pepperoncinis, the pickles, the spicy sandwich style mustard. I pickled my own onions for the first time. I need to cut back on the garlic. And then we got the little gherkins right there. Just a great platter. All right, please don't forget really what the day's about. You know, obviously it's for the men and women who's gone before us, who's paid the ultimate sacrifice, which is why we actually celebrate Memorial Day. So thank you from our side of the family. I hope you guys have a great day. If you guys get this video in time, you guys have any questions about the griddle, about the smoker, or what could you do, what should you do, what about this, what about that, more than glad to help. I hope it goes out like fantastic, right? It's getting the family together and just celebrating.
One thing's for sure is, I mean, that looks fantastic, babe.
It came out fantastic. All right, guys, hit that join button. Check it out. It's a membership program. We thank each and every one of you for taking time for doing so. Check us out on The Griddle Group on Facebook as we're talking about griddles, smokers, barbecue, Memorial Day, food in general. Our group is growing, and so does the ideas that come into it, and it's just fantastic to see you guys, what you guys are making. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound the notification button, share it with your friends. Happy Memorial Day from my family to yours. Now
it's time to eat.
And chowing down. Even the salt, of course, I didn't make the sausage, but they're good.
I can't get over how good these things are.